Folks, who is Kyrina Shuliak? Susan Hamblin? What is the Adrenochrome Club? We're going to talk about all of these in our next story. Kyrina Shuliak. If you've been pouring through these files, she is, not a name you're going to see too terrible often. Susan Hamblin is one that you're going to maybe see here or there. These two women are connected by the late financier. They both knew the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. If you don't know, Kyrina Shuliak, she's now in her mid-30s. She met Epstein around 2010 and became his romantic partner after his release from prison in 2009 following a conviction for procuring a minor for prostitution. She was admitted, as in like not admitted to a hospital, but to Columbia University's College of Dental Medicine in 2013, shortly after Epstein donated $100,000 to a project run by the school's dean. The university, though, later punished two affiliates for bypassing admission standards to accommodate her. Not great for her. Epstein's estate documents released in early 2026 reveal that he contemplated marrying Shuliak and gifted her a 32.73 carat diamond ring and designated her to inherit $100 million, multiple properties, including his U.S. Virgin Islands estates and other assets. To secure her U.S. residency, Shuliak entered a sham marriage with an American woman in 2013, oddly enough. I didn't know that she swung both ways. Good for her. Obtaining a green card and later citizenship before divorcing. A lot of people are saying that she might have deeper involvement because people are saying, hey, who is this strange woman appearing on the island? Is that her? I will admit, the face doesn't quite look right to me when I'm seeing these photos. Some fringer claims are also saying that she removed children's teeth to prevent bites during the abuse. That is, I would like to say this, when it comes to the files, I haven't seen that email yet. I haven't seen any sort of relation to the idea that might have happened. I haven't seen any solid confirmation. These are just things that are swirling about that I need to let people know. Apparently, that's one of the allegations. She may have removed children's teeth to prevent bites. Susan Hamblin we'll cover eventually, but I'm gonna leave this video in the description if you would like to see this video yourself. If you don't know, when we saw these videos that were coming out in the Epstein files, there was one of him dancing with a woman in a red dress. They censored her out, oddly enough, as though she was a young girl or a victim. This turned out to be Kyrina Shuliak. Let's see this video.
We were all examining how they're dancing, their body language, the weird moves that they were doing in sync, and we just kept thinking, who is this and why is she redacted? And there were a bunch of guesses in the comments, but it's none other than Kyrina Shuliak, Epstein's last known girlfriend. She was allegedly recruited over from Belarus in 2009. And in 2010, she took a cocktail waitress job from Epstein. In 2011, she tried to be independent and make it to dental school on her own with her own apartment. But less than a month later, he offers her $7,000 and she joins him and the Sultan for dinner. And by Sultan, I mean the guy who said he likes the torture videos.
Yeah.
She then faces immigration court. He steps in again. She can't get into dental school. He pays the donations to get her in. In 2012, we can see there's a lot of 50 Shades of Grey kind of emails going back and forth. He invites her to a Woody Allen premiere. She goes. In 2013, Epstein assists her with some immigration issues. She ends up marrying a Jenna Kalin. They have no wedding. It's purely transactional. Jenna is directed to wait in line from the bureau for the paperwork where Kyrina was picked up from school. They sign it. Kyrina goes back to school, and Jenna is shipped back to Epstein Island. The Kalin family, they received $700,000. with $175,000 for yearly expenses. Kyrina gets her dental license, then begins building her office. She is also put in charge of redesigning Zora Ranch, the New York apartments, Epstein Island, and Palm Beach.
Well, you need a woman's touch. That's the thing, is that if you're, if you're a worldly sex offender, if you're a business financier, you don't really have the eye for art. You don't have the eye for, let's say, interior design. You need a woman's touch. I understand entirely why he went, let me go ahead and let's marry this one broad. I don't know, where did they say she was from again? I don't even care. Somewhere Eastern Europe, a notoriously evil part of the world. She, comes on over and he says, decorate my mansion, decorate this area. I think Ghislaine Maxwell started off very much as this sort of like, oh, a worldly woman that I can consult, for which vase I put my stuff in, and then eventually she might have not even realized that it was going to the sex offender stuff, but it started to head towards the sex offender stuff. You never know. What I'm saying is that, like, I think that's how a lot of these women first started off, is you have to pull them in first. You don't start with the sex offender stuff. You don't start by saying, hey, help me build a ring of child sex operations. Don't start with that. You go, hey, I got this nice little. You might have known about it. It's the largest single. It's one of the largest single residencies in all of Manhattan. And I need some girl with a beautiful eye like yourself who's able to. You've got style. You know what I mean? Why don't you come on over to my nice little townhouse, and then you can decorate it some, and you can talk to the staff. You can get to know the girls very well, and then that's where you start. And then you see if they're uncomfortable with your staff. Then you go like, oh yeah, are they uncomfortable with the idea that fucking for some reason the people who are handing out towels to billionaires are like 13? And then if they don't have a reaction, that's when he immediately goes to like, all right, now do you want to be my assistant? Now do you want to work for me? He has to test out the level of comfortability of these women, and oddly enough, these women sign off. I don't understand it.
2019, Karina sends some very impatient emails to divorce, and Jenna Kalin seems more hesitant but agrees. On July 6th, literally hours before his arrest, Epstein emails to confirm that Jenna and Karina's divorce was finalized. It was one of the last emails he ever sent. Karina was named on his will, his estate, and a 33-carat diamond ring. Everything I'm saying is alleged.
Allegedly. Well, okay, allegedly. We're gonna use that because we want to protect ourselves and whatnot. Susan Hamblin, we don't have to use allegedly for this. She did work as an assistant to Epstein in the 2010s. She managed aspects of his daily operations and communications. She appears in the newly released Epstein files, including a 2014 email where she allegedly wrote, "I give you permission to kill him," in reference to an unidentified person, sparking online speculation about threats or cover-ups. Another email in the files discusses two foreign women purportedly strangled and buried at Epstein's New Mexico ranch. I mean, what else are you going to do? With unverified claims attributing the message to Hamblin. Apparently, she was the one sending it saying, hey, we killed these two broads. Are you chill with that? In 2020, Hamblin successfully sued the British tabloid The Sun for libel over false allegations linking her to Epstein's abuse scandals, resulting in an apology and damages. Beyond her Epstein ties, Hamblin has a professional background that includes roles in music education and pharmacy, and many circles amplify her involvement to portray her as a key enabler in supposed elite crimes. Her current location is not publicly known, much like Kyrina Shuliak, adding to the mystique that she holds online. Folks, she's taken a hike because she knows what's good for her. She understands that, hey, I made out good when I did, and the fact that he's living in Tel Aviv, I'm lucky if I never see him again. I'm lucky if they choose never to make any nuisance of me, folks. I don't know whether or not the Adrenochrome Club is real. It is a term that we are hearing about more and more because it's out there. We need to address how weird it is that people are admitting to using skin products that have sperm cells in them. Some people are using these treatments that involve baby foreskin from Koreans. If you don't believe me, this is Sandra Bullock on The Ellen Show. Go ahead.
And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah? Sandra, Carrie. What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person.
A young person?
Far, far away.
What?
And they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. That's what
They're laughing. They are literally laughing. They're laughing that it's foreskin from a Korean baby that this woman uses to keep herself looking young.
Okay.
I don't think.
It's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like.
What the fuck?
Who thinks of collecting it and having it for, we'll do something with this
and
someday.
why didn't we come up with that?
I'm sure that you did. I'm sure that you did, folks. Ellen, listen, guys. Ellen is not the only thing that makes people suspicious that the Adrenochrome Club is a real thing. People, if you don't know about the Adrenochrome thing, QAnon and Pizzagate, they were the first ones to hop on it, quite frankly, with the internet age. They were the first ones on the global elite cabal, including politicians, celebrities, and billionaires. They harvest adrenochrome from tortured children's blood for rejuvenation or psychedelic highs. Adrenochrome itself is a real compound that is formed by oxidizing adrenaline. Studies have repeatedly shown that the rejuvenating or psychedelic effects are minimal to negligible. The theory itself is, it gets its kind of roots, if you don't know. It's referenced in Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It was also films like The Sound of Freedom. It's often also linked to the Black Eye Club, where sometimes it's just kind of interchangeable, where unexplained black eyes show up on public figures, George Bush, the Pope. There apparently claims that they result from adrenochrome extraction rituals or punishments from within the group, all of these sorts of things. When we see clips like this that are on Ellen, and I'm just going to play it, knowing what we know now, when we watch these moments of, is this Jared Leto? Yes, this is Jared Leto. God, his 2010s look with the long hair and whatnot, I hate it. It's so unnatural. It doesn't look right. I like him with his cut up hair. You know what I mean? When you watch this clip, it just doesn't feel right. Knowing what we know from the Epstein files, knowing what we know, it doesn't feel right.
I'm very happy. Look how happy everybody is.
They're talking about the Oscars selfie.
I know. That's what makes me happy about that it's so retweeted that you can just see how relaxed and happy everybody is at the Oscars, which is the most tense, usually uptight kind of.
You made it so great last night. I mean, it was such a fun show. It was so classy. It was so kind. It just set a new bar. I think everybody had a lot of fun. When you handed out the pizza, I have to say, nobody knows this except me. And
when you handed out the pizza,
and he knows that, so I think he'll be okay with me telling this story. But when he handed out the pizza, Harrison Ford grabbed a slice. He was very hungry. I saw him take a big bite and looked over my shoulder, right down his shirt. Yeah.
Talking about how he got sauce all over his shirt, man.
And I took the pizza, and of course, what did I do? I handed it to my mom.
Oh,
But
very sweet.
she's too smart to eat pizza in a gown, so she was like, I'm gonna wait for a little bit.
No, Harrison told me actually at that he told me that he dropped it all
did
down.
he?
Yeah, he actually pointed it out. I didn't see it, but he said I dropped it all down my shirt.
All down his shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
He went back and he tried to clean it up, and then I think I just saw him leave.
Yeah. No, I knew he'd have the munchies. I knew for sure Harrison was good.
I love it. And then you look at all of the weird symbolism around the Wilson kind of looking hand symbol. It's a bloody handprint looking thing that many of these people, they wear a hoodie. All of them, for some reason during COVID, got this hoodie that had this massive blood print all over it. I'm just saying, folks, when you look beyond the things that there are before you, when you look at deeper symbolisms, they sort of, it's on your money. It's on your money. It's everywhere. I mean, sorry, the homeless schizophrenics, they kind of understand it. They get it deep. I actually have a clip right here. Of an old gentleman on the streets. He appears to be in a Santa hat, and I'm gonna leave this oracle of knowledge. I'm gonna actually just let him talk. This is from years ago, and for some odd reason, when you listen to him talk, you're like, oh shit, he was ahead of everything. He was actually ahead of everything. Let's begin.
You think you understand political party? You're all full of crap. You don't know what the Illuminati is. If you're Republican or you're Democrat, you're wrong. Why? It's this easy. It's called divide and conquer. That's why there's two parties and only two. And they're controlled by the same people at the very top who belong to the Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberger Group. They also belong to the Trilateral Commission, and you people don't even know what the hell that is. But if you did know, you would know that these are the people that control your world by making global policies that you never vote on, and by which parties folks serve and belong to these organizations and control your world. Now, here's how it works. Really easy. Divide and conquer can only work if the people that are divided are not aware of the falsely created division. If you're not aware of it, then it works. If you know about it, then it don't work no more. If you have socialism without capitalism, it becomes communism. If you have capitalism capitalism. Without socialism, it becomes fascism. And it's just that easy. That's all you need to know. That's why Masonic symbols are all over your freaking money. But you don't pay any attention.
Homeless guy just spitting facts. Homeless guy just going off about the Bilderberger group. You mispronounced the Bilderberg group. Whatever. That's chill. He's homeless. He barely has any teeth. Maybe he meant the Bilderberg group. Ladies and gentlemen, am I saying that this man is someone to be listened to? Absolutely. Am I saying that he's someone to be listened to more so than Barbara Marx Hubbard? Absolutely. Folks, if you don't know Barbara Marx Hubbard, she was an American futurist. She was an author, a public speaker, and people called her a visionary thinker. She was widely regarded as a pioneer in the field of consciousness evolution. People, they give her this credit as being a leading voice in New Age and evolutionary spiritual circles. She co-founded the Foundation for Conscious Evolution and promoted the idea that humanity is on the cusp of, quote, a quantum leap or a birth into a higher state, shifting from unconscious, chance-based evolution to deliberate, choice-driven, conscious evolution. She authored influential books like The Conscious Evolution, Awakening the Power of Our Social Potential in 1998, and also Emergence, The Shift from Ego to Essence in 2001, along with other books, emphasizing integration of science, spirituality, and social innovation to address the global crises. She was praised by figures like Deepak Chopra as the voice for a conscious evolution of our time. She was called a philosophical heir to Buckminster Fuller. She innovated concepts like the wheel of co-creation and synergy engine. She advocated for synergistic networks and positive futures. In 1984, she even had her name placed in a nomination for vice president at the Democratic National Convention. It was sort of a symbol, you know what I mean? She never actually really meaningfully had a chance, thank God. She also was huge in the work of transhumanism. If you don't know, transhumanism is very much a futuristic New Age idea. She had these collaborations with organizations like the World Future Society, the Shift Network, and citizen diplomacy efforts, the Soviet American summits. She produced documentaries and spoke globally about humanity evolving into a more universal cooperative species, sometimes framing it as a birthing process where crises catalyze information. Hubbard also, she passed away sadly in Loveland, Colorado, 2019 at the age of 89. Mainstream views see her as an inspirational thinker on positive futures and personal growth. Some communities portray her efforts as inherently anti-human, and I would agree with many of these interpretations. Many of these people are saying that transhumanism is inherently anti-humanistic. And if you don't know about transhumanism, global control, or the eugenics-inspired selection of humanity, get into it, learn about it. It's going to be heavy in the New World Order. These claims are often, there's claims that they're misinterpreting her metaphorical language about evolutionary phases or passing away of outdated patterns of sinister plots. They're saying that she's linked to the Rockefellers or the broader New World Order. People are saying that these theories, they lack substantiation and stem from a selective reading of her optimistic spiritual futurism rather than evidence of hidden mechanisms. She was also, if you don't know, a close collaborator of that person that we mentioned earlier, Deepak Chopra. He was repeatedly praising her as a voice of consciousness and for evolution in our time. Chopra had documented financial and email ties to Epstein. Epstein's Graduate America Ltd. funded the Chopra Foundation. Also, emails between them surfaced in the new releases. So she has a direct tie to Epstein. She has a direct tie via this person who was such a praiseful, like an advocate of her. Some of Hubbard's broader New Age and futuristic networks overlapped with institutions of people loosely linked to Epstein's orbit also, such as the Santa Fe Institute, which received Epstein's funding and hosted evolutionary complexity thinkers, and figures associated with NXIVM. If you don't know about NXIVM, Hubbard once was named NXIVM co-founder Nancy Salzman as an ally of her birth 2012 initiative. Certain Bronfman family members who backed NXIVM had Epstein connections as well. Folks, I want to play you a clip of her at the Consciousness Evolution Our Next Stage conference. And this is just... I don't know if it's a slip of the tongue. I don't know if it's her being goofy. I don't know if it's her having an old lady moment. But whatever it is, it feels dark. Let's go.
But what I realized is we are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat,
The what? Roll it back.
That we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight. We are the first species to begin to understand not only are we aware of evolution, but we are evolution.
What was that? The babies we eat. I understand it might have been a slip of the tongue, but she didn't even have anything to say about babies after that. She didn't have anything like to say, the babies we raise, or she didn't have anything. She just said the babies we eat.
Evolution. To be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight.
The wars we fight.
We are the first species to begin to understand not only are we aware of evolution, but we are evolution.
What? This is what happens when you don't have God in your life. I'm sorry, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a person that is like spiritual by any means, but this is like what the nuts who get too far into like, hey, maybe humans are God. Maybe there is no God, so we can just do whatever we want. Maybe there is no limit on consciousness. Maybe there's no limit on what we can do to other humans because God, like, we are God. We're the closest we'll ever get to God.
In person. And when you really think about it,
do you think?
Our beings are a resume of the entire story of creation.
What?
From the original flaring forth, as Brian Swim called it.
The original flaring forth. What is this lady fucking on about? I don't understand. Folks, I don't understand what she was up to. I don't understand. I think that she was an old kook, quite frankly. She sounds like a bit of a nut to me. I mean, I'm a bit of a nut. I'm the one researching a lot more into these Epstein files about how there might be a device, that makes us all schizophrenic, and they might be using it on you as we speak. Do you not know about this? Does anybody know that there is a device that they have apparently been discussing in the Epstein files that they say can induce hallucinations? Let's look at this.
Interferes with their central nervous system.
No, not in the middle of the video. Reset.
If you go to the e-library and you search up EFTA 000804775 and click the only document, there is a document sent to, it seems like, some pretty important people.
U.S. Attorney General's Office for Southern New York.
And within it, there's this clause that says they have transmitters that can send a signal of RF, which is radio frequency, audio and video, that are used to make people receive the signal in a way that interferes with their central nervous system. They can cause tactile, auditory, and visual hallucinations, and they can even drive people to commit suicide. So with just frequencies, they can induce schizophrenic symptoms, they can encourage suicide, they can make an area or a room dampen your cognition. As an electrical engineering student interested in RF engineering, this is absolutely insane.
You should have RF detectors is what you should do, radio frequency detectors, to see if anybody is fucking with you. Because those, according to radio frequency waves, walls are essentially invisible to them, so it just passes right through them. Folks,